What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. This is Sunday Night Football on November 17, 2024. It's the Bengals against the Chargers live at SoFi Stadium. And before I begin, I want to tell you something to you Assassinators about the Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills. And I really don't want to talk about it because let's just say the Chiefs, the Assassinators, probably before y'all say I told you so, like I don't want to talk about that, and please don't rub it into SNA on this podcast today. There's more work that needs to be done. Hopefully, this is gonna be the only L that the back-to-back Super Bowl champs do take it, and they'll bounce back and get another come back and get a win, like in something that they should have done in today's game. But luckily, it wasn't on the primetime game. That'll be even more embarrassing, and I really don't want to talk about reviewing anything on my podcast about it. It's already enough I'm talking about this game right here. But yeah, well, with that all aside, y'all know what I'm wearing right now. Yeah, because other than that, like it was the Sunday night's game was totally phenomenal. Yeah. And it was like I was hoping for. And, yeah, the Chargers, I wish I had something to give you a token of my appreciation. But I want to say one thing, and that was thank you so much for putting Cincinnati in a place and tell them whose house it is, like if it's like Swerve's in the building. But, yeah, obviously it was not. But anyway. As they stomped right in the ground and send them and their poison, disgusting Cincinnati water back to their city, and which they're going to get one-way ticket back there in less than 24 hours, probably hardly 10 hours from now. But let's get started onto the review video and start things off with was it the Chargers that got the ball? Yeah. Oh no, it was Cincinnati. Yeah, got the ball. This is where the return man ran into the what was that? I'll say it was at the 34-yard line. This is where Joe Barrow passed to the running back. It was who was it? It was the quarterback at the time. And number 30, it was Chase Brown, that's what his name is. It's where he got like a gain of 5. It's where they were like at the 49-yard line. 39-yard line. It's where he passed. Jermaine Burton that got the ball, the tight end number 81. That's where they got a first down and got a couple extra yards. That's where they move it on to. But it's where they saw the ruin on the field, like he really got in bounds. Is where we got. It's where they went to the most powerful force in all of professional football, I guess you could say, along with professional wrestling. Now it's commercial break, but once they got off the advert, this is where they try to see like if he fully got the first down, and it was an incomplete pass actually that what they had to push him right back. That's where it was yeah. That's where we got Joe Burrow and threw. That's where he threw it to what's his name Chase Brown, which he only got a gain of let's say 2. A gain of like 1, like was 3rd and 6 after that. That's where we got them passing it to Higgins, but it's where he got stopped by the defense on the Cam Hart, that's what his name is. Cam Hart, number 20, the corner that stopped the wide receiver Higgins from getting a first down. Is where they had no choice but to kick it, or else, like if they fail on the next play, like if they choose to go for a 4th down, then that's where exactly the Chargers are going to start. Here's where we got Justin Herbert and the rest of the offense came out as soon as the special teams came in. That's where they were the 10, was it? I think it was the 10. And that's where we got Justin Herbert and passed it to Gus Edwards. Start things off with him. He got like a gain of 7 or 8 on the play. It was like second and 7, second and 8. Second and not 7, second and 2. A gain of 8 on the play. This is where we got Justin Herbert was looked like gonna throw, but he passed it to the by Dobbins, yeah, the other running back, yeah, J.K. Dobbins. But it's where we got it's where it was who else? There was the defensive tackle. Chris Jenkins, that's what his name is. Chris Jenkins that stopped him when he went nowhere. It was 3rd and 3 with him trying to run it, but he gets stopped right onto the line of scrimmage. But it's where we got Herbert's and try to go over again, pass it to J.K. Dobbins, but unfortunately he gets stopped and there was nowhere. Like he had no choice but to go for a punt, because if they screw things up, then they have to start. They'll start right there, like at either at the 10 or maybe the 9 or 8, whoever yard line that the what's called the Bengals would start. But this is where they kicked it like a smart team would, like if they were back in their own yard lines. But I got 4th down. This is where they kicked it right in their side. Like I believe the Cincinnati Bengals were right at the. That's where we got. I believe they were right at the 20. I'll say 7-yard line or something. That's where we got. Got a flag on the play. However, on this play, like when with who was it? It was Chase Brown that got a gain of a couple yards, like 3. That's where we got. That's where it was there was a flag on play because there was some offside. It was an offside penalty on number 3 on the defense. Like, and it was a referee named Brad Allen, and I was like, that sounds like that totally sounds like a random guy's name, like that that's walking down the street. Like, no matter what city or state it is in America, but yeah. Like I was like, I wonder if he's related to a guy that I know I mentioned that. I'm not going to mention anything about the game like earlier, but yeah, it sounded like that quarterback that won against SNA's team, the back-to-back champs. And that's where we got. But that's where we got what's his name. But that's where we got what. But that's where we got. The Chargers then this is where we got what's his name that's where we got what's his name Joe Burrow was almost at the near the end zone, like at the 14-yard line. He tried to throw it to Jamar Chase. He only got like a gain of 5 on the play, making it 2nd and 5. This is where he passed it to the Chase Brown, but this is where he only got like an inch short, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, which it was at the I'll say at the 9. So I'll say they're at the 5. Yeah, where we got her 3rd and inches is where we got what's his name. Here's what we got. What's his name? Joe Burrow passed it to Brown again, which he roughly got the 1st down, which was. This is where their 1st and goal, like at the 3 or 4. I'll say the 4. This is where we got Joe Burrow to try to throw it to his favorite receiver, the star of the show, and that was Jamar Chase. Well, I won't say not on this show, the star of the team, more likely. That's the better term, because it seemed like everybody on the opposite team was the stars. But anyways, this is where he tried to throw it to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase overthrew it. This is where he's like, oh, come on. Like, this is where they were very ticked off. I was like, yeah, like, I guess they're not the next wasn't it Andy Dalton and AJ Green, like in their time in the Bengals. But that was when the Bengals were somewhat better and decent. But that's where we got what's his name? That's where they try to go for it again. This is where we got Joe Burrow got his tight end in motion, number 87. This is where we got Joe Burrow was his name, the blitz. This is where they try to throw it to. What's his to number 80. Like, I was wondering who the receiver was, but this is where it was a flag on the play, regardless. It's where it was like a like an illegal, like what's it, like an illegal shift, like which it got, which it was an illegal shift, like of an emotion of Mister number 87, the same guy that was emotion that I just mentioned, and it was Hudson which is the same number as my boy, like from the back to back champs, Kelsey, of course. But this is where we got Joe Burrow, then like R1, 35, 136, hike. This is where we got Bosa then came in, and this is where he nearly sacked what's his name, Joe Burrow. This is where he spin him around. This is where he tried to throw it to Jamar Chase. And this is where I was like, is this the same Bosa that used to play for the 49ers or relative? Like, but he has the exact same jersey number that he used to have over, that Nick Bosa has on the 49ers. Like, well, let's say it was a penalty on the offense once again. And I was like, someone better call Britney Spears because we found no. Again, it was, and again, it's not on wrestling. Like now, it's on football. Like it's the whole football team that's getting in trouble, and they're doing something again, like Britney Spears would do. And this is where it was a. It was a holding penalty. Was it? Yeah. And it was a loss of a down. Yeah. And he got pushed. They got pushed back like after this penalty. This is where then we got Joe Burrow to try to pass it to try to throw it to what's his name to the Jamar Chase, which he roughly got like something that they would got him into the to get in the end zone. But this is where like they were 4th and goal, like with them near the 10-yard line. They kicked. They did a 26-yard field goal attempt, which they were successful. And this is where it was 3-0, but this was only just the beginning. And I'm not trying to spoil or anything, but let's just say this is gonna be the only time they were leading the game. But let's move on to the next slide when the Bengals kicked it right to the Chargers. This is where the Chargers try to have a better drive than the last time, which let's just say that was absolutely the case, like guaranteed from the Los Angeles team in AFC West League, I guess you could say. That's where we got what's his name. That's where we got Justin Herbert then snaps the ball and ran it for a long yard or a first down. For a first down and a gain of 15, like again, this is where I was like, we're gonna be seeing some great stuff. I was like, yeah, and let's say I was right onto this one. Like, and that's exactly what the Chargers did right here. And I was like, finally, somebody is stepping up to these guys. Well, we've seen plenty of teams have been stepping up, including my boys, them back-to-back Chiefs. That's where we got. Justin Herbert's fake pass to what's his name? Was it J? I think it was J.K. What's his name? Dobbins, if I'm not mistaken. That's what his name is. But this is where he got this. Took her fist like of the fullback. The fullback got the ball. He got a gain, like a gain of a 7-0-6, a gain of 6, like making it 2nd and 4. That's where we got. Let's see. The Herberts then went for a snap. This is where he got the other running back. What was it? What his name was? He passed it to him. Or no, fake pass. This is where Herberts was just running around. And this is where he passed it to McConkey. Yeah, the wide receiver on the right side. This is where he gets stopped by the Cincinnati defense. This is where he gets rolled right to the right side. That's where he gets thrown right into the right side. He nearly got his collarbone broken. That's where, but that's where there was a holding on the defense, which that's rare in football. Like when a defensive player doing a holding penalty onto an offensive rival team. This is where the penalty was declined, given that the wide receiver got a first down. And this is where them. This is where we got, let's see, Justin Herbert's then trying to do more magic, like with them at the 30, like I believe the 30 or the 29 of the Cincinnati Bengals is where he then throw it right over to the tight end number to Disley, like number 81. He got the touchdown. He passed it right up. Will Disley, that's what his name is. Will Disley caught it over like three different defender men. Like as soon as he got right into the end zone, he threw it right straight at him like a bullet, right in front of the end zone until he ran it right in there. That's where it was 7-3. And I was like, yeah, like I hope they can keep it that way. And just wait and see, like, and it just gets better. Like, that's why I have some little enthusiasm, even though I'm not happy for my number one favorite team not winning today. But despite it, I still had a fun time watching this game, like, and had a good Sunday. But this is where we got next up. It was This where I got Joe Burrow. Then I got a couple first downs. Like in the next drive is where I tried to throw. But once he was first down, like at the, I'll say the 39. This is where he gets sacked though. Who was it? It was number 45. It was number 45 that sacked Joe Burrow. It was Julie Chunopu. Yeah, it's a very long name. But yeah, he got the sack onto Joe. It was Toli. It was Toli Lotu. Yeah, Tolu Lotu. Yeah, he's from the University of USC, like the University of State of California, I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, this is where we got Joe Burrow was pushed back of a loss of 4 after that sack. This is where he tried to bounce back from the loss and the setback by passing it to who was it? Tanner Hudson, that's what his name. That is tight end number 87. He threw it to him, but he got they roughly got the 4 yards back, like that they lost. Otherwise, it would like if they didn't got sacked, it probably would have been like 3rd and 6 low key. But this is where like they're trying to make a comeback here. But that's where we got Joe Burrow got a first down on this play. Like, well, no, I think I must be mistaken because he tried to throw it to Hudson again, and he still was the yard short. He only got a gain of 9, and it was 4th and 1. That's where they were in a what do they do situation, like in the questioning themselves, like should they punt it or should they go for a field goal or even go for it at 4th down, which they decided to go for the last option, and that was going for it. That's where I believe this was a very worth invested moment, like for them to do. Like, well, before they went for the snap, this is where they got. This is where we got what's the name? The coach of Cincinnati called for a timeout. This is where then they. They're like, okay, like now we're well refreshed and we're ready to go. It's where then we got Joe Burrow here. Now we're well refreshed. Like now we need to see like how to get in the end zone. Now this is where we got. That's where we got Joe Burrow. Like okay, like this is what we need to do. This is where we got Joe was like, okay, I got an idea of like you go here, you go over there. This is where then they start trying to mix it all up. Like who do you should throw it to? This is where like. It was like, all right, 121, 122. This is where before you can snap the ball, this is where we got the Chargers trying to ice Burrow. This is where then they called for a timeout. This is where they got the timeout. This is where we saw then. This is where then, they got extra 60 seconds, like to get prepared for the next play. This is where they try to do their best to try to stop them right before the end of the first quarter, like so they can get the ball at the beginning of the second. This is where we got Joe Burrow got all his receivers lined up, including the running back. This is where then He snaps the ball. That's where then he passed it to Higgins, which he got the first down and more. But that's where then we got the Chargers thought that there was a fumble though once the defense tackled him down and thought he lost the ball before he fell down. And it's where we saw the this is where there was no whistle blown. So this is where the guys on the Chargers, I believe it was a corner that is rated all the way for a touchdown. But this is where I believe it was called back. This is where it's like it was a touchdown. This is where then the referee's like no, like he was already down, like and it was it's the first. He's like, and it was his elbow was down by contact, so that means the ball like is a dead ball, like, but it's still first down for Cincinnati. I was like, oh bummer, like that would have been perfect, but I didn't have to be disappointed for long because after this drive Cincinnati got, it didn't even matter if they did score it or not from this drive. But it's where we got Higgins then. He got injured, and I'm not sure if I should wish him any good luck, given that he's playing for Cincinnati right now. I'm not saying I'm wishing that he's hurt and he loses his career, but I'm just not sure if I should give my best of luck to somebody that's playing for and representing the team that's from a city that's horrible and that try to control you like with their insane mind controlling that they like doing, like especially with John Moxley's doing, like ever since he drank that poison water and claimed that Tony Schiavone's not the owner of the All Elite promotion. But that's a different video for a different day. But my point is, Cincinnati's not a place that you want to go. Like I said earlier in the previous video, like Martin Lawrence said, everybody's trying to leave Cincinnati, which that's a proven fact. But this is where we got. And this is where we got Joe Burrow snaps the ball. This is where he tried to throw right onto who was it? It was Christian Fulton that stopped the play. This is where to the wide receiver number 16. This is where the flag on the play. Unfortunately, That's where they claimed he was guilty. Like the referee said, like pass interference on defense number 7, which that's Fulton's jersey number. And then that's where it was like, all right, like no matter, like it's not gonna even matter, like because we'll make sure they're not gonna get in the end zone. And yeah, and let's just say that he did exactly that. Like, but then like they did everything except for making it in the end zone again, at least on this drive. This is where they got. And then we got what's his name? Chase Brown ran it for some, like a gain of 2, if not 3. I believe it was like 2nd and 8, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is where once he passed it to was it Higgins? Was it? Yeah, he do it. Where Higgins? He got like a gain of 6, like much of. It's 3rd and 2 now. This is where they regroup, they group huddled. This is where they're like how they're going to get in the end zone. But I have to say, like, yeah, that was not as good as planned, even though they were so close. But to Jermaine Burton, but this is where he gets stopped by Chargers defense. This is where then they had to go for a field goal, which they did so. It was 6 and 7, and yes, that was a rhyme, and yeah, and it was true. And I was saying something that was right, which I obviously watched it. But yeah, this is where we got the ball kicking right back to the Los Angeles, and let's just say that it was a repeat from the last drive. Like this is where he passed it to. Was it like on a really intriguing play, like when I'm throwing it to who was it? Johnson. Number 1, the wide receiver, just caught it right into the left. Nobody guarding him. This is where he got somebody finally trying to bring him down, but it was too late. Like he already caught it past the line of scrimmage. This is where we got Justin Herbert. Then snaps the ball again. This is where then he tried to throw another spiral, which he did again. But it was Disley that it was like the guy that made the touchdown. It was what's his first name? It was Disley. Yeah, his last name was Disley. I mean, his last name was Disley, but it was his first name was it was a back-to-back throw, like a Super Bowl champ of the Super Bowl championships, like the Kansas City Chiefs. This is where we got Justin Herbert that passed it to who was it? It was J.K. Dobbins. It was who was the guy to stop him? That when he went for a run, it was none other than it was Von Bell. That's what his name is. Von Bell stopped him. This is where we got. This is where we got. This is where we got. What's his name? Justin Herbert's passed it to. What's his name? Fake passed it to Dobbins, is where then he tried to go for a throw to a receiver in the end zone. It was Johnson right into the left side, got in the end zone, and this is where he did a backflip, which was very, very awesome, by the way. Like, I wish I could do a backflip like in the field like that. Like, he needed to teach me some lessons. Even though I kind of can do backflips, but only in places that are very safe and soft, but that's going to be a different video for a different day, probably in the future. Like if I show you a video of me doing the backflip, and then if you like me doing the backflip and the video in general, just please show your appreciation with a big like and a subscribe for that, and make sure the channel gets subscribed over 1,000 channels. But this is where we got the touchdown, extra point, 14-6. Beating them with a gain of over a touchdown, which it was something that the Chiefs were supposed to do earlier, when they were leading against the Buffalo Bills. But that I'm not going to talk about much about that. I'm just making a comparison, general statement. Like they should be playing like the Chargers right now, because they're over them. They're beating them by a place and 2 games ahead. They're 2 games ahead of them. And also they're number 1 in the AFC West division and AFC overall. And also they beaten them in their stadium at SoFi when the last time they played against them a couple weeks ago. And, or even a month ago, or whenever it was. But next up, we saw that next week's Sunday Night Football game will be the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. And then the game will take place again at SoFi Stadium, but this time it will be the Rams, not the Chargers, and that's going to be a really good game. It's going to be what's his name? Matthew Stafford versus Jalen Hurts, who's going to be the winner of that game. Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But yeah, this is where we got back in the game. This is where we got what's the name? The Bengals got the ball back. This is where he fake passed it to Chase Brown. This is where then he tried to throw it straight right into the face, right onto Hudson. Oh no, it's sick. It was Sicky, that was open, number 88. But this is where he tried to throw it to him. This is where he tried to grab onto the ball, but this is where he fell right back to the ground. This is where we got Joe Burrow then try to go for a snap again. Second and 10, complete. He just really this is where it was number 80 that threw it to, a gain of 5 or 6. It was who was it? It was, let's see, it was anyway. This is where we got hi Giant. This is where we got it was Nick, but this is where he only got a gain of 4 or 5. Maybe 6. It was 6, actually. It was 3rd and 4. This is where we got Joe Burrow trying to go for a throw, but this is where he ends up getting sacked. It was Tui Pelotu again that got sacked him before, and he did it again, second time in a row. That's where the fans yeah, Chargers. They had no choice but to kick it, because I believe it was a loss of what was it? It was 4th down, and it was 4th and 4. 3rd and 4. They got pushed back 3 yards. It was a loss of 3. This is where they had to go for a kick. This is where then the Chargers retrieved it. This is where then they continued to play more at their best. This is where we got Justin Herbert went for a run, and after passing it to what's his name to J.K. Dobbins. This is where we got Herbert. Then got 5 yards and more.
Can I have my brush?
Yeah.
Because I cleaned it.
Baby, here you go.
Keep that in my room.
Yeah, I'll keep it right here. Anyways, assassinators.
Why I get my room and get candies? You like why I clean this, and then you help me.
But anyways, assassinators. This is where we got Justin Herbert's ran it for like a good long yards, like maybe even over 20. Like it was too hard to tell. This is where we got Justin Herbert's. Then it was the 5 yards. It was I think it was at the 30. It was I'll say it was a gain of 31 yards to be exact. It was at the 30. So I'll say, so if it was like at the 30, there was a gain of a 31-yard run. It was. They're at their 39, so they were at their 39, but he went to their 30. Yeah, so that was like a gain of a 31-yard line. Yeah, passing enemy territory in the process. First down, which was a smart move from Herbert. This is where he passed Darius Davis into his right. This is where he ran it for like a gain of 14. Yeah, almost like a first down and a half. Like, well, it was just first down and a few extra yards. And this we got Herbert's then ran it for like 3 first downs, like in 1 extra yard, like in a way, of course. But this is where we got. But this is where we got Justin Herbert's then move on to the next play. This is where he passed it. This is where he passed it to, who was it? That was the other running back. It was. It was I believe Edwards. I believe that's what his name is. The number 4 running back. That's where he got. That's where he got a gain. That's where he got the gain of. No, it was like 9 inches. I guess you could say 9 yards and 1 inch. And yeah, it was. And yeah, and this is where they said they did 16 plays and they got over 20 yards. I'm not sure if that's rushing or passing or even in total overall. But yeah, they're either way, it's still some impressive numbers against the Cincinnati Bengals. This is where we got. This is where we got Gus Edwards. Then got the ball passed by Herbert. He got the inches and more, like a couple extra yards. This is where they were first and goal right here. That's where they're about to score their next yard. Is where he tried to pass it to the left side. Is where that's where he gets hit by somebody on defense. That's where there's a flag on the play. Is where the coach of the Chargers was very happy and excited, enthusiastic on what just happened. Is where Dortmund enjoyed. Is where we got the penalty. It was like personal foul, unnecessary roughness on defense. What was that number? 92. AJ Hill. This was the defensive end pushed him down anyways. This is where Justin Herbert was like, you really had to do all that and go there. But this is where it didn't even matter because the Chargers were first and goal, half-inch distance to the goal. This is where just 1 yard. This is where we got the Chargers and then snapped the ball with Herbert. This is where he fake passed it to Edwards or somebody. This is where he got to give the Tucker Fist the little fullback, but this is where it went right past him. This was an incomplete. This is where it was second and goal. This is where we got Herbert looking on his little playlist, wrist thing. This is where he's like, all right, like this, and we're gonna do it on this play. This is where we got. This is where Herbert's like, all right, hut 1, hut 2. Hut 75, Hut 95. Hike passed it to where's where I tried the Dobbins, I believe, this is where you only got like a gain of a I don't know if he really went nowhere. This is where Dobbins had charged one more time with Dobbins, but this is where they only got. This is where but this is where it was unsuccessful. This is where they try to go for it one more time, even at fourth down, fourth and goal to be exact. This is where Justin Herbert's did not like see something on the play. This is where he called for a timeout. This is where we got the coach were absolutely happy. This is where they even showed like some replays like from games that they played. He had nothing but praise for the Chargers quarterback. This is where they went back to the field. This is where it was first and I'll say fourth and goal at the 1. This is where we got what's his name? Herbert's then like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where and it was J.K. Dobbins to try to go for it one more time, jumps right up in the air, but he gets tipped, flipped right over for a touchdown. Touchdown, Los Angeles Chargers. And then that's what made it 21-6, like on the episode of Charlie Brown. Your first kiss, Charlie Brown, like when he finally danced and kissed the little red-haired girl, like. But before that, they played a game of football, like, and it ended up being this score right here on the first half, like until like Team Peanuts nearly won, but only just by one point that kept them away, which was 2021, of course. But at this point, like it was 21-6 against the Cincinnati Bengals, but the thing is, like, let's just say like it was the complete opposite of the Peanuts game, like from on that episode, which I totally forgot exactly the specific name of, but let's move on, like, and go to what happened next, which it was Cincinnati trying to do their best to try to do their best, like with. I'm trying to get back into the lead part of things, but that's the last thing that they done, and that's why I was absolutely very intrigued and interested. This is where we got Jamar. This is where then he passed it to Chase Brown, but that was before then. It was 2nd and 5, but it's where then he was under pressure. He threw it to Jamar Chase, his favorite receiver, which he didn't really got nowhere. Only like a gain of 3, making it 3rd and 2, or no 3rd and 3. Hardly a gain of 2. This is where then we got the Chargers defense, like, managed to stop Joe Burrow, because they did not know who they threw it to. This is where it was Ford, number 95, which kind of reminded me of a Chargers version of Chris Jones. Just sack him right into the middle. This is where they showed the replay of it, which I was very happy to look at. This is where we got Khalil Mack, like, was in the sidelines, was cheering him on, which I'm not sure what position he's in now. I'm not sure if he's injured or even still playing football, and maybe got some kind of a management job for the Chargers. I'm not sure, but either way, I will wish him all my positivities to him at this time. But this is where we got this is where we got the Bengals to kick it right back to the Chargers. Chargers and try to go charge right into the end zone, pun intended. But unfortunately, he gets stripped right over by the Bengals. This is where we got. This is where Justin Herbert came out. This is where he did not care, like they were not like past enemy territory, just to make it right into the red zone. This is where he passed it to McCall. Like this is where. And this is where we got that's where they need to go to the next play. But before that, we waited for another 60 seconds, like in the most powerful force in all of football, and that was the commercial break. But once it got back from the adverts, is where then we got to the next play. Like after they showed some highlights of Justin Herbert's killing everybody in the Bengals, like with his running agilities. This is where we got what's his name? Justin Herbert, and snapped the ball the 222, 223, hot, and this is where I did pass it to Joseph Hosai. Like, I know. No, this is where we got Justin Herbert trying to go for a run, but this is where he gets pushed right back a yard by Joseph Hosai. This is where that bad to who was the number 15 that he tried to throw it to in the left side? Yeah. He snapped the ball, go left. This is where McConkey, but this is where he get. This is where it was a yellow flag. This is where the referee explained like it was a rough. It was another roughing the passer penalty, but this time from number 91 for the Bengals. This is where I started doing the dance of joy. I'm like, yes, like finally, like the Bengals are getting like what stares, even though they have been for the last few weeks. Have you seen their record lately? Like, yeah, like that's another point of mine. Like, they're not really great. Like, and they're getting destroyed by teams like them and even Pittsburgh and what's his name, Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. But anyway, this is where we got. That's where we got Justin Herbert's. Then snap the ball again. This is where then he tried to go for a throw right onto one of his receivers. It was Disley. Yeah, that was his tight end. Disley that caught the ball. This is where he got no timeout. This is where Justin Herbert's like, come on, hurry up. And this is where he spiked the ball right at 13 seconds. Like, boom, to give him some extra time to go after the plays. This is where we got. This is where they looked through them. This is where we got Justin Herbert to try to go for a play that's going to be full with McConkey like was in motion. This is where we got Herbert to try to throw it to the right side, but he threw it away because it was under pressure. It's where they were third and goal now. Like, this is where they were like wondering what they should do. This is where they try to go for one more time. This is where we got. Who was it? It was the 5 was. But it was a pass interference penalty on Mr. Newton, like the corner onto the right side, number 28. But like with him holding on to Mr. Who was it? It was who was it? But yeah, this is where it gets pushed by Newton of the corner. This is where they went for a field goal to be on the safe side because they only have 4 seconds left. They would like to prefer to have some points rather than no points at all. And it was at the second quarter. It was what was it 20 It was at it was 24 to 6, I believe. Yeah, 24-6. And let me know in the comment section right down below for those that watch. Like, were you expecting the Chargers to completely smoke the Bengals, or did you thought that it was going to be much more of a different result? And I sure hope that y'all not referring to like that the Cincinnati Bengals was going to win, because we all know that was not going to be happening. But yeah, this is where like it was 24-6, and if you told me that Cincinnati Bengals were gonna come back and either tie it or beat the Los Angeles Chargers, which I'm not saying that they did beat them, but I would have told you were insane if they had if I'll tell you right in your face right now that you were insane. Like, after seeing the Chargers got 3 touchdowns in a row against the Bengals, like, I would think that it was impossible to happen. Yeah, I'll be looking at you like psychotically, like saying like you must be mentally insane for thinking that Joe Burrow is insanely risky enough to do it and pull it off and execute it, not to mention. I was like, maybe if it was Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, yeah, he might have a chance. But Joe Burrow is child's play compared to those 2 quarterbacks, and even Russell Wilson as well. But yeah, this is where it was 24-6. I forgot to tell you it was 7-3 in the first quarter. This is where, or was it? I believe so. And this is where it was. Yeah, it was like 17-3. Yeah, 17-3 on the second quarter. This is where then it was the halftime. This is where they showed like the highlights of the Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bill, and even like showing and even the Ravens versus the Steelers game. That was the second most highlighted game of the week, which it was Pittsburgh and the Baltimore Ravens, the two top best AFC North teams in the NFL. That's both definitely going to guarantee the shot at the playoffs. And this was Lamar Jackson was so close. He tried to do a flea flicker right into the lineman. He didn't catch the ball to tie the game. Maybe Lamar Jackson should have squeezed and ran it in anyways. But unfortunately, it was not enough. Pittsburgh got the dub. They remained number one in the AFC North with an 8-2 record, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but. But moving on, we got the Chiefs. That's where you got one of the commentators said, like it was not like the whole Chiefs' fault. Like like it was the defense that was in the blame because the Chiefs still had a chance despite them being a couple points behind. Like it was the defense that allowed Josh Allen to ran the first down and more for the touchdown, making it 30-21 in the first place. But let me know down in the comment section right down below about that. Like, do you think that the Chiefs could have had a chance, but it was the defense, or do you think it was genuinely going to be the same result with Josh Allen so quick? Well, that's all I'm going to tell you about the game. Let me know in the comments about that, which I don't want to talk more about that. It's just so nerve-wracking and frustrated. But this is where got Dobbins got a first down. I mean, not first down, a couple yards, but Jermaine Patton then sent him right to the right side, which he was like a 2 or 3. It was like 3 yards, 2nd and 7. This is where then we got Justin Herbert's like, all right, 101, 102, 103, 105. He like 110 hiking. This is where then fake pass it to Dobbins, pass it to his tight end to Sisley. This is where then. This is where they try to go group huddle again. This is where it was 3rd and 7. Herbert then snapped the ball, threw it to his receiver, which was it was it was the Johnson, but this is where it was an incomplete. It was 4th and 7, if I'm not mistaken. That's where we saw the Chargers had no choice but to kick it. This is where then we saw the Chargers retrieve the ball. That's where you got the return man trying to run it as much as he can, but it only. He would got like a gain of a dozen. This where then at the 27-yard line, this where they showed like that Joe Burrow was having a bad day. This is where we got him passing it to the Jamar Chase, but this is where he drops it, which it was the 2nd and 10, incomplete down. I guess you could say. This is where we got. And this is where we got the follow up. This is where we saw Burrow try to throw it again, but it's where it was a different receiver. It was the left side. This is where it was a 3rd and 10 kind of penalty. This is where we got. Let's see, who was it? It was. But this is where it was 3rd and 10. Like this is where luckily, like things did not went better for the Bengals at this time. This is where we got Joe Burrow then snapped the ball again, 3rd and 10. Try to throw the. This is where it was Derwin James that tried to catch the ball, but it was. But this is where we got it was a 3rd straight incomplete pass in a row, 4th and 10. Joe Burrow was walked back to the sidelines, disappointed. This is where they had to kick it right back to the Chargers. This is where they run this return man over as soon as he got the ball. That's where it was. That's where there's an illegal formation on the kicking team, which they're gonna get punished with the Chargers gaining some yards. That's where we got Justin Herbert was getting ready to be prepared to get back in the field, which that's what exactly like what happened. Like with him go ahead back in the field after doing a couple of tosses. No, it was a replay. No, it was a replay of a punt. Like this, where it happened. That's what at the start is where I go again. This where the same return man they got clobbered and gained some yards. It was a couple more yards better. Like other than that, I thought also. I mean, it was like it was a 5 yard penalty after the illegal formation. Like which it was a 4th and 15. They had to kick it anyways, or else like that or else the Chargers would have started there. But it's where we got. And then we passed it to Dobbins, is where it was like a 2nd and 9 play, like because the defense were on point. This is where they stop him on the ground, making it 2nd and 9. This is where then we got Herbert to try to throw it to Johnson. This is where the defense was right on him. This is where it was 3rd and 9, incomplete. This is where then the group huddle looked like he's probably going to go for a trick play because normally when somebody like in a huddle, like like when there's no when the clock's not ticking and when it's the incomplete pass, it's so that they're going to come up with a better play. Like this is the perfect time to do it with them have plenty of time. Here's what his second best receiver, McConkey, caught the ball for a first down. Like, and there were like there was a gain of 20, like right on play at the 45. Was it? That's where they then. Well, no, it was like a little bit like past the 40. This is where we got. That's where Dobbins trying to run the ball, but he gets buried by the defense with a loss of 3. And I was like, oh darn! Like even though they're doing pretty good, like going. They're doing pretty good right now. Like when it comes to points wise, this is where we got Justin Herbert. Is like, all right, if we could do this, like despite the setback, like 195, 205. This is where then he snapped the ball, hike, passed it to Sizzley. But this is where he got this is where he got a gain of 5 on the play, I believe. This is where then we got. Oh no, it was a gain of 8. Gain of 8. Yeah, this is where we got. And then where they were in the group huddle, this is where then we got Justin Herbert. Then snapped the ball. This is where then he with Dobbins in motion is where he tried to. This is where then he tried to throw it to Johnson, but it's where he was getting hold on by one of the corners of Cincinnati. This is where I was like, "Where's the flag on?" Because he was clearly holding on to him before the ball even was coming their way. No, I'm not trying to sound biased or trying to sound like what they call biased or trying to favoritize the Chargers. It's just the fact, like I pointed out that he was holding on to him, so he should face the punishment of a penalty. And I was like, hopefully that the referee's not taking up for the Cincinnati Bengals, but it's where. But it's where it was 4th and 6 right now. This is where we got the Chargers had to go for a field goal, which they easily settled for, which it was 27-6. And this is where we start seeing a very scary moment because this is where I start partially thinking like is it possible that Joe Burrow could pull off the unthinkable, or do you think the Chargers can maintain right here? Well, they both look of everything, which you're going to see exactly what am I exactly describing right here. But this is where we got back in the game. This is where we got the ball was kicked right back to Cincinnati. Going to show like how Jamar Chase been doing, but he's been having a total bad day tonight, or a bad night. Let me rephrase that because it is the nighttime rather than the daytime. This is where we got. But this is where we got Joe Burrow snaps the ball. This is where we got him fake passing to Chase Brown. This is where we got Burrow and threw a plane right onto to Jermaine Burton, but he tried to go with one-handed pass, but he was like a couple steps away, like right in front of him, went way too long on deep into the field, and then dropped right onto the field. This is where we got Joe Burrow trying to pass the two was it the Higgins? That's where it was. This was rule to catch. This is where it was a pass. This was the flag on the play. That's where it was on number 7. It was Fulton. Yeah, it was Fulton. I was trying to stop Higgins. That's where it was the penalties declined. It was first down. That's where we got Brown ran a long run. I'm like, oh boy! Like even though they're 3 touchdowns ahead, but you never know what's going to be happening. And then this is where then we got a gain of over 20 yards. This is where we saw. Let's see what happened next. It was they were trying to throw the Higgins right in the end zone, but it went over out of bounds right in the goal line. Like, and it's where it was like, oh, like, why that had to happen right now? Like, luckily the defense were there to stop him, or else they would have probably found a chance to get a touchdown. Is where we got. Where's where we got? What's his name? Joe Burrow to pass it to Higgins is where he got a first down, or maybe an inch short, like I'll say, let's see. It was 3rd and inches. That's what happened. That's where we got Brown got the first down, like at I'll say, I'm not sure it was it? It was at the 5, if I'm mistaken. Yeah. That's where we got Joe Burrow to try to throw it right onto Higgins, but it gets stopped by the defense. It was some good defense, but unfortunately, it was claimed that it was pass interference, which it turned out it was like a pass interference penalty on Mr. Hart. That's where it was this is where we got the ball was placed right at a half-inch distance to the goal. This is where we got. Here we got what happened next? It was that we got Joe Burrow snaps it, passed it to the running back Brown, but he ended up getting stopped. But it was number 90. It was a loss of a couple, like pushing back like at the 6 or 7 yard line. No, not 6, 7. I mean, it was like at the 4 yard line. I know that was the 3 yard line, which it was loss of 5. Tierra Tart like that came in and stopped him. Looked like he was playing Call of Duty with him having a machine gun and start blasting the field. This is where we got. This is where the Tart that was had a big smile on his face. Is where it. This is where Aloe Gilman stopped like the